Today we are going to talk about RCR, the Rovos, whatever, and the Chase. So buckle up and steer in to the smoke. You're listening to Into the Smoke, hosted by Patrick and co-host Buffalo. Every week on Thursday. How's it going, guys? This is Into the Smoke, hosted by Patrick Arman, with your co-host Buffalo. This is Into the Smoke, episode season 2. Today we're going to talk about Rovals, RCR, and much more. So, what is going on, guys? The silly season is in full effect. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you guys how much of full effect it is. There are so many drivers, so many moving parts. I just can't believe it, guys. Where to begin, guys? So, I guess to begin, the driver that we know for sure that is going to be a key player, that is already out of the question. Ryan Newman. He was at Stewart-Haas. He was at RCR. He is now going to Roush Fenway Racing in the number 6. The car has been up in the air for a while. We know that Matt Kenseth was driving it. Trevor Bayne was driving it for a little bit. We now know for sure that RCR is going away with Ryan Newman. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Well, for that to make more sense, we're going to have to talk about the other free agents, possible non-free agents going into the silly season. Kurt Busch, Truex Jr., Matt DiBenedetto, Jamie McMurray, AJ Allmendinger, Trevor Bayne, like I said. Those are all free agents at this moment of time. Nobody is up for possible contracts at this time. The only one we know for sure is possibly Jamie Mack at Chip Ganassi. There is a possibility that he is going to be running part-time. There is a partial deal that's still on the table. He might be racing the Daytona 500, and then he is going to be running a more administrative role to help the next driver partial. That might not be happening. I don't believe that is going to happen. Truex Jr., I don't know. If you guys have heard, the two major, in my opinion, the two major free agents are Kurt Busch, Truex Jr. Kurt Busch a while back said that there was two contracts on the table. We do not know if it's Stewart-Haas or not. I don't believe it is. He's had a very good ride with Stewart-Haas, but it has been very, very well known that it was not Tony Stewart's pick. Now it's kind of been on the table that, I kind of like Kurt Busch now, and he's kind of grown to like everybody at Stewart-Haas except Danica. I still believe that Danica was a good pick. I think Danica was just, I don't think Danica came in the right time. I think Danica should have either raced some more Indy or raced some Xfinity or some trucks first. I just don't believe that she came in the right time. So Truex Jr. is not a free agent in my book. Let's talk into that a little bit more. The supposed reason that Truex Jr. he's going to JGR, Joe Gibbs Racing, because of his old team's long-time alliance with JGR. If you guys don't remember, the way back when, I believe this was either late 2016, late 2017, there was a fight between Truex Jr.'s team and a JGR team and it kind of came out that they have an alliance. An alliance is in my mind, is a cheating term, meaning that we give you team members, we give you parts, we give you everything to make a team except nothing. Like, we give you everything. All we want in return is that you win our race for us. Doesn't that make you a team member? Kind of makes you a team member. So, but NASCAR has a rule: you can only have 4 cars in a team. So, but anyway, but if you guys haven't heard, Furniture Row shutting down, so that alliance is up in the air. But I'm kind of worried that the alliance is up in the air. There's a possibility that Joe Gibbs is going to hand that out again. There's a possibility he's not, because of possibly that fight has led into something bigger. So I don't know. He might not hand that out. Kurt Busch is the other pick. So why don't we, for the time being, Truex Jr. is going to JGR. That means that is they're saying that Suarez is going to be, so he'll go into the 19, and Suarez will either go into an JGR Alliance team or go elsewhere. I believe that Suarez might go back to Xfinity and run. Well, in my opinion, I believe if Suarez will leave, Suarez will go into a full-time deal at Xfinity level, in my opinion. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think every driver should make that opinion, and I feel like if that opinion is made, I feel like that's a good opinion, because Xfinity full-time is better than nothing. And if you find your deal, then your deal should be met. Like that's not something, like, if you're not doing good in something, you should find what you're doing good in and just go do it. Like, I don't think Suarez is going to be that bad. Shouldn't be that worried about going back to Xfinity. Kurt Busch, on the other hand, he could go to RCR, or he could go up to other teams. If he goes to other teams, it's a possibility he's going to go to Toyota or to another Ford. We got Levine Family Racing. That's a Chevrolet. We have Go Fast Racing, which is a Ford. We have Chip Ganassi, which is a Ford or Chevrolet. And we got RCR, and we got JTG Daughtry, which is a Chevrolet. JTG Daughtry, by the way, guys, is owned by a basketball player and 2 other people. Just to let you guys know, he used to be on ESPN. They got Daughtry. He used to be on ESPN for the NASCAR. Just to let you guys know. But the big thing is on this whole thing is that alliance is up in the air, and I just don't. And that's the big if, in my opinion. If that alliance is up in the air, there's a possibility that either Kurt Busch might go back Toyota, because I believe before he raced for Furniture Row, I did not look this up. If you guys want to look that up for me and put that down in the comments below, it'd be great, or I could look it up after the show. But I believe before he raced for Furniture Row Racing, which Furniture Row Racing raced Chevrolet and had an RCR alliance before they had an alliance with Joe Gibbs. Before he raced Furniture Row, he actually raced a Toyota with his brother, but I don't remember for sure. But anyway, guys, in general, let me know what your guys' biggest driver and all that is. I believe it's Kurt. In my opinion, Kurt's my favorite driver. If Kurt went Toyota, I just would have to back away. When Tony went Toyota, when Joe Gibbs went Toyota a long time ago, it just broke my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tony. And I'm like, I looked at him and I'm like, I thought I was never going to be able to like Tony again. It's just one of those times where drivers really have to reevaluate themselves, and Kurt's gonna have to reevaluate himself. He's already raced the Chevrolet and Ford. He raced the Chevrolet. He's raced both of them with Stewart-Haas, by the way. So it's not like, and the only one he hasn't raced with Stewart-Haas is Toyota. So there's a possibility that he might race a Chevrolet, which in my opinion is fine. But I know in other people's opinions, like, oh, Toyota's just a name on the car. No, it's not, guys. A Toyota is not just a name on the car, guys. If you put Toyota on your car, that means you're sponsored by them. If you get sponsored by them, you drive their vehicles. If you guys don't remember, as soon as Tony got sponsored by Ford, they got Ford vehicles. Like, he still has Chevrolet sponsored by everything else. Like, I know he gets sponsored by Chevrolet on his on his wing sprints, on a lot of his other cars outside of NASCAR, but on NASCAR, he's sponsored by Ford. But it's not just a little sticker. It's not even an emblem on NASCAR. It's a sticker. But it's not just a sticker, guys. But anyway, guys, next to topic. It's this weekend. It's the Roval. It's the Roval. It's the undecided. It's the darkness inside of us. I don't know why I just said that, but I don't know. It's kind of scary though. There's a lot of drivers outside the bubble, and cough cough. One of them, I really do want outside the bubble, and you guys know, he's not going to be talked about at all in this episode until the very end. But anyway, guys, it's kind of funny though. When Chris Devoda, one of the reporters on NASCAR on NBC, she was talking about. They were talking in conjunction, everybody was talking about the Roval, and then she said something like, yeah, the row what? The row what? What, like the row, what do they call that thing? I'm like, she's never heard of the Roval? Like, you guys been basically talking about this since February. This was like the first week of September. It's been like months, and you guys are just now realizing we're going to the Roval next week. This was like 2 weeks ago, actually. This was like, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she was like, yeah, the row what? Row, what, how do you call that? What do you call that? I'm like, what? It's the Roval. You are a NASCAR reporter, and you do not know how to say the Roval. It's in Charlotte, by the way, guys. They use the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a 400-mile race. It's planned to be next year ran at a 500-mile race, which is even better. Charlotte, it's better ran longer. I don't know why I said that either. Well, hope they get their setups better. Man, that they weren't joking when they said they had some wrecks. I saw the videos and I saw the cars. The carnage was bad. I know one of the drivers, the first wreck they had, they were done for the day, and that's not good when you're at a test and you get one wreck and they're done. Because usually I don't really see that many drivers have more than one. I don't even when they're in Charlotte, I don't see them having more than just one car to bring to the track. um, to bring to the track for testing, because that's kind of a waste of time to bring like 5 cars. Why don't we just bring all five of our test cars, and if we get all 5 wrecked, oh, it's not a big deal. We'll just fix them all up, because testing is usually during. They usually don't have testing when it's like, I'm pretty sure they don't have testing when the drivers are like on off weeks, like what football calls bye weeks. Like, they don't usually have it during that. It's usually like it's usually Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday before the next race. So they do the testing, and then they'll go to the next race. So they usually probably only have 1 car to test with, because all their other cars are getting ready to go to the racetrack. They're testing, and then they go to the track to go race. So I don't think they have more than just 1 car. I think a couple drivers might have had 2 cars, but I think most people only had 1 car, and they were done by the end of the race. Or not the end of the race, the end of testing. So, yeah. It was bad. I know Almirola was there from Stewart-Haas. I think I heard that every team, every manufacturer was represented. I do not know if they were running the rain tires there. They didn't. I don't think they posted that in their in the article. If they did, I did not see it. But they do have some sick tires. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch that in editing. So they have some sick tires in the race. If it's going to rain, they have some tires for them. But on the other hand, I'm hoping they don't. It doesn't rain, because I don't know if they have windshield wipers on all the cars. Because I was thinking about this too. If usually on the races they do have the windshield wipers, not every single car has the windshield wipers. So what if they do that at this track, and if it actually rains and not every single car has wipers? So I'm hoping everyone does, but at the very least the race is going to be interesting no matter what, because this is going to be the inaugural Charlotte Roval. Nobody's ever raced this track before. It's the very first time they've raced it. You know, it's just like any other inaugural race. You know, it's going to be very interesting. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? Just like if we would ever go back to another international race, like if we would ever go to I don't know what I think international means. National. I think national. I forget, but if we would ever go to like another country to go race a NASCAR race, which I think we should. I just watched that a couple months ago, and it was probably months ago, but it was a pretty cool thing that they did way back then when Dale Senior and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's the Roval. I think we should be expecting nothing but the best out of these drivers. I'm sure they probably won't be doing the best driving, but they'll probably do okay driving. But moving on, the Kyle Busch moment. Ba-da-da. The Kyle Busch moment. Do-do-do. The Kyle Busch moment. So, guys, we got a Kyle Busch moment today, guys. And it's going to be a special one. Out of Richmond, Virginia. It's going to be out of the penalty area. Number 18, Joe Gibbs' car of the Cup Monster Energy Cup Series got a lug nut violation post Richmond. Crew Chief Adam Stevens fined $10,000. So, like I said, Kyle Busch got a lug nut violation. His crew chief got fined $10,000. Does he really need this right before playoffs? He got a win last week at Richmond, but so he's locked into the next round. But does he really need this right before, so he can blame every single person in his team before he gets before he gets to the next round? He's gonna be like, you got this violation. He's gonna be like Oprah and is like, but like the annoying Oprah. You got this violation. You got this violation. You got the violation. You got the violation. Everybody got this violation except me. I didn't get this violation. I don't carry these things they call lug nut guns. So I didn't get this violation. My team got this violation. Even though NASCAR is a team sport, meaning that everyone is in the team. If I lose, we all lose. If I win, we all win. Now everyone say this. If I win, we all win. If I lose, we all lose. Now Kyle Busch, listen to me. Now you and I say this together. If I lose, we all lose. If I win, we all win. Nope, I didn't hear Kyle Busch say that at all. I think he just said, if I win, I win. But that's how he's going to say it. He only understands if he wins, he wins. And he's like, oh, that's exactly how he says it too. If he wins, everyone wins. You win, you win, you win, we all win. And then it's like, if we lose, oh, you lost, you lost, you lost. You dropped the pit gun. You dropped the freaking jack. You dropped this, you dropped that. Jeez, it was Keselowski. It was that freaking Kevin Harvick. It was Truex Jr. Oh, I can't blame Truex Jr. I'm gonna get freaking Lions stuff. Freaking it was 25th. It was 35th place. Matt Bendendino. He was all the way back there. I had to freaking drive around him. He was driving so fast I couldn't get around him. If he loses, it can't be Mr. Kyle Busch, the most winning driver with only one Cup Series champion to his name. That can't be. Frantically looking up again. I'm just joking, guys. I literally looked that up for my show notes. He only has one Cup championship to his name. To Johnson's 7? Pretty sure he has 7 right now to his name. Cup champions. Cup Series championships. But anyway, guys, that's just Kyle Busch right there for you. He's probably going to be blaming everybody except him. It's like, it's you guys. Why did you guys get me a lug nut violation? Because you want me to get your tires on for at 2 seconds. At 2 seconds. I can't do that. Anyway, guys. What? This Kyle Busch moment was sponsored by M&M's. Jimmy, you know Kyle Busch. His primary sponsor. His primary sponsors by. He's primarily sponsored by M&M's. Shit, Jimmy. Okay, sorry guys. Bad on us. This Kyle Busch moment is sponsored by Eminem, the rapper. Just joking with you guys. It's not sponsored by M&M's or Eminem or Eminem's M&M's. Do. But that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty ironic if this Kyle Busch moment was sponsored by M&M's because his primary sponsor is M&M's. That'd be funny. But anyway, guys, moving on. I had this quick little thing. I know everybody's it's a big thing right now in the NASCAR community to be racking on NASCAR's broadcasting. I know this one guy was like, "Oh, there was a commercial like 5 laps ago in the stage," or blah blah blah. This is like, that's the whole point of the stage. First of all, the stage stuff is to give some more commercial breaks and all that stuff. That was probably one of the main things. But I thought this was kind of funny too. And I thought this was something to, not really funny, but this was kind of something to do really quick to make a segment. And I thought it was going to be kind of interesting, and it was. It's called, not really called, but it was, and I kind of piled this information together, and I did it. I guess it is called NBC Sports Network versus Fox Sports Network. And it's the total number of races on each network, and it's based on the races on local TV versus cable TV. Because it is kind of a big deal for people that don't have cable or don't have ways to go around cable. Because the truth is, people really don't like to, let's say it, well, I'm trying to say it in a a very legal way. People don't want to go about watching a race illegally. I can't say it. And they don't want to bootleg watch a race. You know, some people do, and I've seen people do it. And let's say that I've seen people do it, and it's not bad. It's the same quality as, and there might be a little bit lower quality, but it's this basically the same quality if you use the right sources. But you know, if you use the same sources as this, as cable, as basic cable providers, but you really lose out on some of the good features, like the quality. So that being said, we'll just go into it real quick, guys. Fox, we'll do Fox first, then we'll do NBC, then we'll do we'll do some talk about it. Fox had 21 races total. Out of those 21 races, 11 of them are on cable, and 10 of them are on local TV. So 11 and 10. 11 and 10 are pretty even. Four of those races are 11 races are non-points races as well. I know 3 of them were the Daytona duels and stuff like that. The Daytona duels and the The three of them were at Daytona, and the fourth one was at Charlotte. You can count Charlotte twice and make it 5, but I just did it 4 because it makes more sense. But I still count it. I still count 21 races instead of whatever. NBC had 20 total races. Out of those 20 total races, 13 were on cable. 7 of those were on local TV. 5 of those 20 races were playoff races. 5 were on cable. 5 were on local TV. What all that really means, though, is money. When they do have those when they do have those races on cable, they make more money because of the pure fact that they're on cable instead of because of they're on cable because they're making money because they're on cable, because when you're on local TV, they're really not making money off of your local TV antenna. They're making money off of you when they're grabbing your cable. You know what I mean? They get a small chunk of your cable bill, you know, especially that what do you call it, the sports package. They make more money off the like I said, they make more money off the cable counterpart. But cable Fox has done this for so many years. They've broadcasted so many more years than NBC. NBC has kind of gotten ESPN's people. If you've kind of noticed that, Fox has given Fox is not given, but Fox has lost some of their people to NBC, and NBC has also gotten some of their ESPN's people for NASCAR purposes. But NASCAR, in reality, I'm really just kind of scraping the barrel of this. I'm not really scraping the barrel, but scraping the lining of the barrel of this a little bit. I know people really do talk a lot bad about a lot of things. I know people, like I said, talk about how, like, oh, they cut five laps before the end of the stage. Well, they do that because of the staging. They did the staging for multiple reasons, and one of those was for more TV time. They were getting mad because, and I kind of looked at that upset too, because they didn't allow time for the IndyCar, the last IndyCar race, to show on NBC because of the Cup race. And that could have been avoided. I still haven't made that video yet, but it really could have been avoided by just streaming NASCAR. NASCAR really should have been just streamed. If NASCAR would have been streamed by a third party streaming service like the new I'm going ahead of myself a little bit, but the new owner of NASCAR, then they would probably make a lot more money, because all people have to do is go over NASCAR.com, go to NASCAR.com, go to live, and they go to live right there. You don't have to pay for anything because it's already streaming. They don't have to worry about losing any money because they have commercials already there. They're already selling the cars, and people already have internet to their TVs. They're like flat screen TVs. Their movie, wherever they watch their races, they already have internet devices hooked up to them. So it's not like they're going to be losing anything like that. The sports packages are really not going to go anywhere because they still got football, they still got hockey, they got they got soccer, they got everything they want off the sports packages still. NBC and Fox, they're really not going to lose anything because they still can talk about the races. I believe ESPN and a lot of the other people that lost NASCAR still talk about NASCAR today, even though they lost the ability to stream, or not stream, but broadcast NASCAR. And Fox still talks about Cup Series, even though Fox doesn't broadcast the Cup Series right now. So, and then the other thing is NASCAR just needs to find what works and stick to it. Like, I know NASCAR is in this thing right now, is they just want to find the next best thing and do it. I know that was with the point system. They do now. They're doing it with the stages. The stages, I was talking about that years ago when I was watching the stadium trucks. Not people get those mixed up with the trophy trucks. Stadium trucks are just regular off-road trucks. Trophy trucks are more of the Baja trucks, but stadium trucks are just like regular off-road trucks. But the stadium trucks, they do that all the time. They get all bunched up back together. The Silverado, the Toyota, whatever, will come back. The pace truck will come back up and bunch them all back together, and then they'll do another 10, 15 laps, and usually like 5 to 10 laps, I think. But yeah, those trucks will they do they used to do that, and I used to tell my dad, like, hey, I think NASCAR should do something like that. It's really weird that NASCAR will run like 180 laps and not do anything. Like they will literally run 180 laps. Like NASCAR used to run a long green lap, and it's really helped Daytona. It's really helped other races. But if they went back to a non-staged races, I don't know. I think NASCAR should really keep the stages. But last thing real quick. I know I've been talking pretty long now. But the chase standings. The top 3 drivers that are locked in with either points or wins. Kyle Busch and Truex Jr. are locked in with, Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski are locked in with wins. Truex Jr. is locked in with points. Drivers in the bubble are Clint Bowyer, Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, and Denny Hamlin. Jimmy Johnson is the one I was talking about earlier. I just don't want him to come back. He's going to lose his primary sponsor, Lowe's, next year. That's what I've heard. So he might not come back. He's coming back. He's got a contract with everybody's saying that, oh, what if there's been a couple drivers now. It's like, well, what if his contract has a loophole or whatever. It's like, but it's not like a lot of these YouTubers that talk about NASCAR also have a big role in other sports, which I also want to get into. But you also have to realize that NASCAR is not like other sports. NASCAR, you can jump from manufacturer to manufacturer basically every year, and you don't have a contract with manufacturer. And like, contracts are kind of contracts. Like, you can't really jump out of them. I don't think Jimmy Johnson's going to jump out of Hendricks. Like, Hendricks and his key drivers, like, I know Gordon still talks to Hendricks, like, probably every day, guys. But, so, the big question, I don't think it's a big question, guys, but the big question is, who do I think is going to win the race at the Big R, the Big Roval? And I think, because it's a wild card race, and it's a very wild card race, I think that it's going to be Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin's going to pull himself out of that bubble, pull himself up, and there's going to be a possibility that one of the other bubble drivers will not get out. It's either going to be Clint Bowyer, Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones. And there's probably a good chance it's going to be Eric Jones. It's not going to be Eric Jones. So who's your silly season watch list? Who is on your silly season watch list? And who do you think will win the Roval? The inaugural Roval, by the way, guys. You gotta, like, people haven't, like, hyped this up enough. It's the inaugural Roval. Nobody else has raced this. Like, yes, there's been testing, but there has to be testing at tracks like this. Like, you can't just, like, go race. like, right, like, there's not going to probably be testing at a, like, across the seas race, but if you can test, you don't got sure. Guard sure. Whatever. That there's going to be testing. Well, until next time, guys, stay out of the smoke. And me and Buffalo, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening to another episode of Into the Smoke. If you'd like to co-host an episode with me, Patrick, contact me via email. And as always, stay out of the smoke.